Long ago, the people of Israel lived in fear. Powerful Philistine soldiers controlled their land and watched their every move. Farmers worked their fields quietly, hoping to avoid trouble. For 40 years, the Israelites suffered under this rule. But even in their hardship, God had not forgotten them. Soon, a child would be born who would begin to change everything. In a quiet garden near her home, a woman knelt among the plants when suddenly a bright light appeared before her. An angel of the Lord stood there, shining with heavenly glory. The angel spoke gently and told her something impossible. Though she had never been able to have children, she would soon give birth to a son chosen by God. Not long after, the promise came true. The woman gave birth to a baby boy, and they named him Samson. His parents held him with joy, knowing his life had a special purpose. As Samson grew, God's Spirit began to move within him, preparing him for the powerful role he would one day play. Manoah prepared a sacrifice to thank God. As the flames rose from the altar, something incredible happened. The angel stepped into the fire and rose upward toward the sky. Manoah and his wife fell to the ground in awe. They realized they had seen a messenger sent directly from God. As a boy, Samson quickly showed signs that he was different. He was stronger than the other children. One day he easily lifted a heavy stone that others could barely move. The children stared in amazement. Even at a young age, it was clear that Samson possessed a strength unlike anyone else. One day Samson traveled to a Philistine town called Timnah. As he walked through the busy marketplace, he noticed a young Philistine woman. Something about her caught his attention immediately. Samson decided he wanted to marry her, even though the Philistines were enemies of his people. While traveling along a lonely path, Samson suddenly heard a terrifying roar. A young lion charged toward him from the bushes. Instead of running, Samson stood his ground. The Spirit of the Lord filled him with strength, and with his bare hands, Samson defeated the lion. Later, Samson passed that same path again and noticed something strange. Bees had built a hive inside the lion's remains. Golden honey filled the hive. Samson scooped some honey into his hands and tasted it as he walked along the road. Samson soon returned to Timnah for a great wedding feast. Guests filled the hall with laughter and music. 30 Philistine men sat with Samson during the celebration. Food covered the tables, and lanterns glowed warmly as the joyful celebration continued late into the night. During the feast, Samson decided to challenge the men with a riddle. If they could solve it within 7 days, he would reward them with fine clothing. But if they failed, they would owe him the same. The men listened carefully, but none of them could understand the strange riddle Samson gave. Unable to solve the riddle, the Philistine men threatened Samson's bride. Afraid for her safety, she begged Samson again and again to reveal the answer. Day after day she pleaded with him until finally Samson gave in and told her the secret. The next day, the men proudly gave Samson the correct answer to his riddle. At that moment Samson realized he had been betrayed. His face hardened with anger as he understood what had happened. The celebration suddenly became tense and silent. Furious over the betrayal, Samson planned his revenge. He went into the countryside and captured 300 foxes. He tied their tails together in pairs and attached burning torches between them. When the torches were lit, Samson released the foxes into the Philistine fields. The animals ran wildly through the crops, spreading flames everywhere. Wheat fields burned, vineyards caught fire, and smoke filled the night sky. Fearing the Philistines, 3,000 men from the tribe of Judah went to find Samson. They tied him with ropes and promised to hand him over to the enemy. But Samson remained calm as they led him toward the waiting soldiers. As the Philistines approached shouting in victory, something incredible happened. The Spirit of the Lord filled Samson with power. The ropes snapped apart like weak threads, and Samson stood free once again. Looking around, Samson spotted the jawbone of a donkey lying on the ground. He picked it up and used it as a weapon. With incredible strength, he fought against the attacking soldiers and defeated 1,000 men. After the battle, Samson collapsed from exhaustion. Thirsty and weak, he prayed to God for help. God answered his prayer and provided water to restore his strength. And for many years after that day, Samson continued to lead Israel as their judge. After the battle, Samson collapsed from exhaustion. Thirsty and weak, he prayed to God for help. God answered his prayer and provided water to restore his strength. And for many years after that day, Samson continued to lead Israel as their judge. After the battle, Samson collapsed from exhaustion. Thirsty and weak, he prayed to God for help. God answered his prayer and provided water to restore his strength. And for many years after that day, Samson continued to lead Israel as their judge.